Hello and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're getting a chance to take a look at the nicest version of Specialized's own do-it-all hybrid. A hybrid that's able to be on some fire roads, light dirt paths, but also be a great bike for a fitness ride or to take on the commute to work. That's right, today we're checking out the Specialized Sirrus X, and this being the highest end version is the $1,500 Sirrus X 4.0. So in this video, we're going to go through the features and designs that make up this bike, as well as go ahead and find out exactly what it weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, I suggest you stick around and check it out with me together. Specialized Sirrus X. That is what we have in front of us today. And in fact, this one is the Sirrus X 4.0. Essentially, in the Specialized Sirrus lineup, they're going to have a Sirrus X 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. Now for 2022, I did just recently do a video on the Sirrus X 3.0, and that's a great one to watch if you want to see us go even more in depth than we will in this video. Now, Specialized also has a Sirrus lineup, which is effectively a very similar bike with a slightly different mix, and those go all the way from a Sirrus 1.0 on up to a Sirrus 6.0. And what makes this bike different than the standard Sirrus really comes into a bit of the frame as well as the tire and drivetrain setup. So the first thing to mention here is this bike is going to come with 700 by 38C tires, so a little bit wider tire than a standard Sirrus. It will fit up to 42 millimeter tires, so really allowing for a little bit more rugged tire setup. And then all Sirrus X versions are a 1x drivetrain. That means they have a single ring up front and then a wide range of gears out back, making the shifting system a little bit more smooth, certainly a bit more quiet and reliable on rough roads. And then the Sirrus 4.0 integrates in their Future Shock 1.5. So what the Future Shock allows for is some compression as you're pedaling around above the top tube of the bike. That means your handlebars can absorb the bumps and chatter inside of the road, while the frame and the fork stay rigid, allowing this thing to carry speed pretty well. Now, the other thing that's nicer on the Sirrus X 4.0 is the fork is going to be a FACT carbon fiber fork. So this up front is carbon, while the rest of the frame is aluminum. So carbon fork plus that Future Shock 1.5 should make for a really smooth riding bike. Now, I've spent some time on the Sirrus X and I have really enjoyed it. It does do a pretty nice job, as well as I've owned the Specialized Diverge, which is the gravel bike variant of this. Also comes with a Future Shock on the front, but a little more gravel bike with a drop handlebar. So this is mixing the capabilities of what you'd get with a gravel bike with a fitness bike all into one rig, which makes it pretty neat. Now, going past that, you do have a 1x drivetrain, so that single ring up front like we talked about. And then on the 4.0, it's either going to come with this SRAM NX drivetrain 1x11 or a Shimano Deore M5100 drivetrain. Well, on this version being NX, it's going to have an 11 to 42 tooth gear range out back, so nice wide range. And then up top, you're going to have the NX shifter, which is going to be double thumb button to shift. So you press this button here to bring you to an easier gear, and then there's a button just below to bring you to a harder gear, making for easy shifting up top, operating the 11 speeds through the back and the single ring up front. Now, to slow the bike down, it's going to be via some Tektro brakes or some Shimano MT200s. Both are going to be a mineral oil hydraulic brake, and then clamped down using 2 piston calipers on 160 millimeter rotors on the front and the rear. Past that, rolling into the cockpit, you can see it's all aluminum. So here we've got this aluminum riser handlebar from Specialized. You do then have an aluminum stem. Nice clean setup. I love the way that it goes down onto that Future Shock 1.5. Very clean look to it. And then one thing I really like is the grips that they run on this bike. And these grips come from the body geometry division of Specialized, where they do a lot of research on the human interface with the bike. And you'll notice it's tough to see, but there's a bit of a bump here, and that fills in basically the cup inside of your hand when you start to grab down onto something. So it's a little bit different than the standard ergo grips that you've seen on some bikes where it kind of comes out like that. But this fills in nice, has a flat spot down on the bottom to grip onto. And then of course, these are a lock-on style grip with a little bolt to lock it in place so it can't rotate on you. And moving out back is an aluminum 27.2 alloy seat post with a bolt-on binder, nice if you're going to leave the bike out. And then you've got the body geometry bridge saddle, which for a stock saddle is reasonably comfortable and a nice option on this bike. The final thing to talk about here is of course going to be the wheel set and tires. And this being the Sirrus X 4.0, this is going to come with a nice set of alloy wheels. Now this alloy wheel is a double-walled alloy setup. It's 21 millimeters wide internal with 32 spokes. So nice durable build, and it houses some Pathfinder Sport tires. These, of course, are in that 700 by 38 millimeter width, but you can run up to a maximum of 700 by 42 millimeters on this bike. Well, anyways, now that we've gotten a chance to take a look at those features and designs of the Sirrus X 4.0, I think it's time that we go ahead and put it on a scale and see what it weighs. The actual weight of the Sirrus X 4.0 is going to come in and weigh 24.36 pounds. Well, thanks for joining me to check out this 2022 Specialized Sirrus X 4.0. This has been a pretty neat bike to take a look at and is an interesting do-it-all rig from Specialized. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, what you think about this, as well as go ahead and browse the channel and feel free to hit subscribe so you can see more videos like this to check out as well.